Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. I am Jaimal Ratnayaka for the Newsfirst team. Let's start off today's bulletin with a look at headlines.
Railway trade unions call off strike action. A basic understanding reached between the SLFP and the SLPP to create an alliance titled the Sri Lanka Nidas Podujadu Perumuna.
සාකච්ඡාවේ අවසාන ප්‍රතිඵලය වෙන්න ඕන පක්ෂ දෙකම එකතු වෙලා එක ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂයෙක් ඊළඟට එන අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය දුරට එක අපේක්ෂයෙක් ඉදිරිපත් කරන වැඩපිළිවෙල.
One person shot dead after an issue arose when trying to enter a school in Akmimana. Army soldier arrested. Non-cabinet minister Ajit P. Pereira raises questions about party democracy from London. What happened to the funds that were due to SLC for the broadcasting rights of the South Africa tour of Sri Lanka?
On to those stories in detail. The strike action launched by railway trade unions was called off this evening after discussions were held with the Minister of Transport Arjuna Ranatunga.
Minister of Transport Arjuna Ranatunga and State Minister of Transport Ashok Abesinghe held discussions with representatives of railway trade unions. According to our correspondent, tense situations arose between the ministers and the trade unions during the discussions. However, representatives of railway trade unions said that the discussion that lasted for over 2 hours was successful.
We held discussions regarding gazetting railway services as an essential service under emergency regulations. The minister agreed to remove this within 2 weeks. The minister gave us an undertaking in writing to reinstate the railway general manager Dilantha Fernando in his position. So we would like to inform all railway employees that the strike action will be called off. Since all members of the railway service participated in this strike, I do not think we will be able to restore the services to normalcy immediately. But we hope to resume normal services from tomorrow morning.
The General Secretary of Railway Operations and Technical Association, Chandrasena Bandara, against whom allegations were levelled against, was also present at the location.
The only officer who has the right to suspend or transfer any employees who is the leader of a trade union, be it at the Railways Department or any other state sector service, is vested with the permanent secretary to the ministry. This is that circular, but the head of our department misunderstood this. Both myself and the state minister held discussions with the trade unions today. We came to a consensus and resolved this issue. We had to gazette it as an essential service because of their trade union action. We asked them to show us that they will continue to work and not stage trade union actions. We really did not have any need to gazette this as an essential service.
Even though the train strike was called off, the delaying of office trains caused severe inconveniences to the general public. Now this is footage obtained from the Fort railway station earlier today. One person was shot dead by a soldier who was posted at the Upananda Primary School in Manavila, Akmimana.
Police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara said the shooting occurred when the man attempted to grab the firearm of an army soldier. A man who had been informed that his child at school was unwell had attempted to enter the school forcibly, and an altercation had ensued between the parent and a soldier who was on duty at the school. The man had then attempted to grab the weapon of the soldier. According to the police media spokesperson, it is at this point that he was shot. The man succumbed to his injuries upon admission to the Karapite base hospital.
I took him to Karapite in the three-wheeler. When I was taking him there, he was not moving. They put him into the ICU immediately. They put him on a machine and later recorded a statement from me.
The deceased was a 39-year-old father of 3 named Pradeep Udayakumara. He was a resident of Nagasandhya, Pilana, Gaul.
According to the statement given by the soldier, this man had attempted to grab the official firearm of an on-duty soldier, and it is then that the soldier fired at him. The soldier was arrested along with his firearm. He is currently in the custody of the Akmimana police.
The magisterial inquiry into the incident was conducted this evening.
In a separate incident in Putur, Batikalo earlier today, 2 traffic police officers were attacked and a revolver in their possession was stolen. Now, police say that 13 individuals have been questioned over the incident thus far.
At around 11 a.m. today, 2 people riding a motorcycle had cut in front of 2 police officers who were transporting another motorcycle to a police station. Their motorcycle had fallen down when they attempted to cut across the path of the motorcycle carrying the 2 policemen. A group of area residents then proceeded to assault the policemen, and the revolver in the possession of one of the policemen was stolen. Both policemen have been admitted to the Batikalo hospital. The suspects who carried out the assault and stole the revolver have been identified, and investigations are being carried out under the supervision of the Superintendent of Police in Batikalo.
Police dispersed a group of protesters obstructing the Gampola-Navalapitiya main road at the Mariyavatta junction. The protesters were demanding for the renovation of a road in the area.
The Deputy Perivanadipati of the Tamiligala Bauda Loka Pirivana, Venerable Kalugala Kassapatero, first protested demanding for the renovation of the road running across Mariyavatta to Udagama on the 3rd of April. The protest garnered much attention after a recording of the conversation between the Thero and Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla went viral. Yesterday, the same Venerable Kalugala Kassapatero began a fast as the road has not been renovated as yet. Area residents arrived to the area in support of the Thero. Police intervened when the group attempted to obstruct the Gampola-Navalapitiya main road.
I can't allow you to close down the road. Please do not hold it against me. We do not have a problem with each other. Please do not clash with the police.
The group later protested obstructing the Gampola-Navalapitiya main road. A tense situation arose when police attempted to disperse the protesters. Area residents took steps to hospitalize the Thero. The protesters carried the Venerable Kalugala Kassapatero for about 1.5 kilometers to the Gampola hospital from the Mariyavatta junction.
Taking a look at a headline-making story for this evening, the whereabouts of 33 million rupees which Sri Lanka cricket was entitled to from the granting of broadcasting rights for the South Africa tour is still a mystery. Now, a revelation was made recently by Sony Pictures Networks India Private Limited, the rights holder.
In my experience of more than 20 years, funds cannot be credited to or debited to the Sri Lanka cricket account unbeknownst to anyone. There may have been an attempted cyber attack.
cyber attack එකක් දෙන්න උත්සාහ ගන්න නැත්නම්
කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේක ඇත්තටම හැක් කරලා නැහැ කියන්න අපිට ප්‍රධාන සාක්ෂි තියෙනවා. අහලන්න පුළුවන්. පැහැදිලි සාක්ෂි තියෙනවා. පැහැදිලි සාක්ෂි තියෙනවා.
More information came to light today indicating that claims of a cyber attack on Sri Lanka cricket were false. This was made evident in a letter addressed by Sony Pictures Networks India Private Limited in response to a letter from the Secretary of Sri Lanka Cricket, Mohan De Silva. In his letter dated 3rd May 2019, the SLC Secretary raises questions regarding a sum of more than 33 million rupees which the rights holder purportedly owes Sri Lanka Cricket. De Silva claims in the letter that the Sony Picture Networks India or SPNI has violated the agreement with Sri Lanka Cricket and that the funds are yet to be received. In a strongly worded response, SPNI notes that the payment of the sum in question had been made to the account mentioned in the invoice as per the payment instructions of the Chief Financial Officer of Sri Lanka Cricket. The letter notes that the invoices were provided on the letterhead of Sri Lanka Cricket, supported by approvals from Sri Lanka Cricket's authorised signatories. Ashok Nambisan, General Counsel for SNPI, writes, quote, "It is clear that we are a victim of fraud perpetrated by Sri Lanka Cricket officials, and in no circumstance are we liable in any manner whatsoever, nor can we be held responsible for acts of malfeasance and criminality by your duly appointed officials." Unquote. Whilst calling on the SLC Secretary Mohan De Silva to withdraw his letter, Nambisan writes, quote, "Please be cautioned that any attempt by Sri Lanka Cricket to foist this illegal and unlawful claim on us will be defended at your sole cost, risk and expense." Unquote. If Sri Lanka Cricket is not in possession of the more than 33 million rupees which SNPI claims to have paid, then whose account were the monies credited to? Who gave the instructions for the monies to be deposited in another account? Are SLC officials attempting to foist the blame on others while covering up their own tracks? Shortly after taking up the portfolio of Ministry of Sports, Minister Harin Fernando pledged radical changes to the administration of Sri Lanka Cricket. The mystery of the missing 33 million rupees and the allegations of fraud and corruption involving the highest echelons of Sri Lanka Cricket is an issue that we at News First have been watching and reporting on with intense scrutiny. The latest development in the form of the letter from the General Counsel of Sony Picture Networks India establishes that there is a paper trail of invoices on the Sri Lanka Cricket letterhead and documentation bearing the signatures of SLC's authorised signatories. SNPI claims the monies were paid as per the instructions of Sri Lanka Cricket's CFO and the invoices on the SLC letterhead. In such a backdrop, continued attempts to push the narrative of a purported cyber attack or hacking attempt are both farcical and nonsensical. In fact, the sequence of events seems to indicate a cover-up of corruption most foul, which continues to besmirch and smear the name and reputation of Sri Lanka Cricket. How much longer will the Sports Minister wait to implement the radical changes that he has in mind for the administration of Sri Lanka Cricket? Will we have to wait until the next World Cup comes and goes? For how much longer will the cricket-loving public tolerate such farces?
Now moving on, a group protested against Minister Sagala Ratnayaka today while he attended a ceremony held at the secondary school in Pitabaddara.
The newly built laboratory at the secondary school in Pitabaddara under the Langama Pasala Hundama Pasala program was vested with students this morning. The building was built with a total cost of 36 million rupees and equipment worth 12 million rupees are to be installed in the new laboratory. After the ceremony, a group of people had requested permission to meet the minister. This is what transpired when the people were not granted permission to meet the minister. The minister left the premises in this manner.
At the time of the protest, I did not even know what the protest was. There was a few of them who wanted to talk in public. There was no such environment there. There were children at the event. It was not an environment where parents could protest. So I left the event once it was over. There were 3 people who protested. Only one of them had a child studying in the school. What they asked was to get a permanent principal for the school. I have not yet looked into this matter.
The minister says that the issue should be properly communicated to the relevant authorities.
Meanwhile, on a similar note, the national event to commence the second phase of granting infrastructure facilities under the Langama Pasala Hondama Pasala, or the nearest school, best school concept commenced today at the Pereira National College of Education. The event was held under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The newly constructed smart class and the auditorium at the Pereira National College of Education was built at a cost of 20 million rupees, was declared open this morning. The Prime Minister as well as the Education Minister inspected the academic activities carried out in the smart classroom. A sapling was planted by the Prime Minister at the Pereira National College of Education in line with the event. What we see here today is a classroom with a smart board. Education is important. When I was going to Parliament back in the day, this was told by Minister Halim's uncle, ACS Hamid. He said, invest in education. This is when the country will develop. This is what we hope to achieve.
අධ්‍යාපන දාන්න. ඒක තමයි රට ඇති වෙන්නේ. අන්න එහෙම රටක් තමයි අද අපි ඇති කරන්නේ. වැස්සක් එනකොට කුරුල්ලෝ තමන්ගේ
When the birds try to go back to their nests to avoid getting wet in the rain, the eagle would soar above the rain clouds. Let me tell you, though a lot of people do not understand, a lot of people will speak about the decisions that are taken by the Prime Minister in the future and say that these things should have been done a long time ago.
ඒකක්ම අනාගතේ මීට පෙර කරන්න තිබුණේවා කියලා කියයි කියන විශ්වාසය මට තියෙනවා.
Technical equipment required for the smart classrooms were also presented at the event.
Laying of pipelines carrying oil extending from the Colombo harbour to Kolonnawa, which was stopped, recommenced this morning.
The construction was stopped temporarily when only 140 meters of pipeline were remaining to be laid due to protests by residents of illegal settlements of the Blumandal Mahavatta area. Minister Ravi Karunanayaka intervened, saying it was a problem of the people in his electorate. The crisis escalated with the decision of the petroleum trade unions not to provide oil to generate electricity. However, 399 families living along the railway line at Blumandal Road will be given new houses in 3 stages. This was the response Minister Ravi Karunanayaka received from the public today.
The issue had prevailed for the past several years. The media has witnessed how the locals live here. This is why we made such a request. We should not install tube wells here. If funds were given 10 years ago, this issue would not have arisen.
Meanwhile, Minister Kabir Hashim also expressed his views in Kegol in this regard.
On one hand, some claim that the UNP does not uphold democracy. On the other hand, they question the views and ideals expressed by various individuals. This is democracy. Everyone has the right to express their ideas. Whatever the decision the UNP takes will be decided by the official committees of the party. Anyone can say whatever they wish. There is no issue to that. This is a free country.
Speaking at an event held today, Deputy Leader of the UNP, Minister Sajith Premadasa, had this to say.
If someone asks me what heaven means to me, I will say that my heaven belongs with you. Being among the people while opening a village, providing solutions to the problems faced by the people. This is my heaven. Myanmar Valley deeds were given to the people at a reduced cost from 100,000 to 250 rupees. This is my heaven. When a problem is resolved and it brings a smile to the hopeless face, that is my heaven. My friends, you are my heaven. Going to places on the back of your votes and then proceeding to steal, embezzle and sell off national assets to foreigners, letting corruption run rampant and to steal sacks of dollars, that is hell. I call on you to clearly see the difference between heaven and hell.
The minister was speaking at the opening of the 212th model village under the Samara Sevana Yalipipidenuda Gammana project in Tissamarame today. The model village, named Sada Haskama, comprises of 24 housing units.
Non-Cabinet Minister Ajit P. Pereira, while on a tour in Britain, had posted a statement on his Facebook page regarding democracy within political parties. He made this statement while in the UK Parliament.
There are two main political parties in the UK, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Leaders of both parties are elected based on the votes cast by members of Parliament. There are no owners or inheritors of the party. There is no system where the current leader chooses the future leader of his choice. Though we speak high of democracy within Sri Lanka, there seems to be a reluctance to learn and accept globally accepted democracy practices. Or is it that we are not aware in this regard? Or is it that we are aware of this but choose to remain silent? Those who speak of the UK parliamentary system or the Westminster system refrain from speaking of internal democracy within political parties. There must be internal democracy within the party for the people to elect leaders as their representatives. To bring forward a proper candidate, they must have the people's mandate. It does not stop from there. After the candidate wins, a transparent and ethical approach must be adapted when presenting the policies of the party. There is democracy within the political parties in the UK parliamentary system. Are we willing to learn and adopt to such a system or not? The people must decide.
අපේ සම්ප්‍රදාය ඉගෙන ගන්න කැමතිද නැද්ද කියන එක ජනතාව තීරණය කරන්න අවශ්‍යයි.
A media briefing was convened today by the General Secretary of the United People's Freedom Alliance, MP Mahinda Amaraveera.
We submitted a set of proposals from our end, and their side had done the same. We perused their proposals and discussed it broadly the day before yesterday. There has been a nominal consensus to contest as the Sri Lanka Nidahas Podujana Peramuna. Talks are underway regarding other positions and the symbol. We are hoping to submit our suggestions and amendments to their proposals by the end of this week. The conclusion of these talks should be that both parties will come together and nominate one presidential candidate and one prime ministerial candidate. This is what is being discussed.
ඉදිරිපත් කරන වැඩ පිළිවෙල පිළිබඳව තමයි සාකච්ඡා වෙන්නේ. ඔබතුමාලගේ එක අපේක්ෂණයද ඉන්නේ. නෑ අපි දැනට ජනාධිපතිතුමා පිළිබඳව තමයි සාකච්ඡා කළේ. වර්තමාන ජනාධිපතිවරයා ඉදිරිපත් කළා. එහෙමනේ. නෑ නෑ මං කිව්වේ අවසානයේ අපි දෙගොල්ල එකතු වෙලායි තීන්දුව වෙන්නේ කියලා කිව්වනේ. තනතුරු බෙදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයාට ඔබ කැමතිද ඔබ පස් වෙනා කැමතිද?
No, we are yet to express such favor or otherwise. We do not disapprove of anyone in particular or the names that have been touted. However, a final decision will only be made and an agreement reached following these discussions. Yes, we will not stand by and close down the SLFP. We will continue in politics. We will not abandon this party and join another.
MP SP Disanayaka expressed the following views regarding the presidential candidacy.
Oh.
The President himself said during the Central Working Committee meeting that it was okay to reveal that they will field a candidate, but to refrain from revealing the name of the candidate. We will put forward a patriotic, anti-US, anti-imperialist candidate from the joint opposition. Everyone has the freedom to say anything they choose to. We have no issue with that. However, we will put forward a candidate from our comprehensive alliance.
Meanwhile, the Podujana Peramuna convened a media briefing today.
At
present, it is clear that Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is facing a crisis to hold on to his power and authority in the United National Party. It is reported that the Prime Minister is planning to hold general elections before the presidential election to escape from the pressure of choosing the next presidential candidate. However, if a general election is to be held, 150 MPs must vote in favour of it. As the joint opposition, we are in favour of a general election. There is no issue with that. The JVP will be in favour of it as well. If UNP MPs also agree, we can hold a general election.
The Land Special Provisions Bill, which has been tabled in Parliament, was challenged via a petition filed at the Supreme Court earlier today.
The petition was filed at the Supreme Court today by MPs Udaya Gammanpilla and Sisira Jayakodi. Sri Lanka has been betrayed to America today. This is one of the main components in the hasty program to turn Sri Lanka into a colony of the United States. You already know that the government has agreed to give the US an economic corridor from Colombo to Trincomalee. This is the Millennium Challenge Compact Agreement. The strategy they will use here is to provide the lands to the public as private property and then encourage them to sell to the US and US corporations at a higher price. Since this matter pertains to land, the Constitution dictates that it must be referred to the provincial councils. This has not happened. We have also mentioned in the petition that every section of this bill is in violation of the Constitution.
More news follows on the other side of this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Life is a beautiful journey of many challenges. Believe in yourself. Move forward with courage and determination. The right support and companionship will give strength and guidance to achieve your desires. Be confident. Be victorious. So go ahead. Explore life. We are with you. Allianz Insurance.
To the news, in more local news, State Minister of Defence Ruwan Wijewardena says the government is not prepared to enter into any agreement which will allow US forces to establish bases in Sri Lanka.
A fresh accusation has been made that the government has signed an agreement which will allow US forces to operate in the country and to establish bases. I categorically refute these allegations. I have spoken about this in Parliament. We are not prepared to enter into any such agreement with the US government, nor have we signed such an agreement. Not only the US, we will not allow any other country to establish bases here. This government will not enter into any agreement that will negatively impact our national security. If an agreement is to be signed, then it must be signed by the President as the Minister of Defence, or it will have to be signed by the Defence Secretary on his authorization. There is no need whatsoever to sign such disadvantageous agreements.
The promotional campaign for the Abhiman Varam Scholarship Programme, jointly powered by Anchor and the Champions Network, continued for the third consecutive day today.
Abhiman Varam Perakaman Charika.
Abhiman Varam is a program created to identify and groom talented Sri Lankan children who continue to dream despite numerous trials and tribulations. The next phase of the promotional campaign of the Abhiman Varam Scholarship Program commenced in the Nuwara Eliya, Ampara and Batiklo districts today. Our team visited several schools including Good Shepherd's Convent, Nuwara Eliya, Holy Trinity College, Nuwara Eliya, the Mipili Mana Sri Senananda Mahavidyalaya and the Kotmale Gamini Disanayaka National School to inform the students of the scholarship program. The Abhiman Varam promotional campaign kicked off in the Ampara and Batiklo districts today, following the positive feedback of students from the area. Our team visited several schools in the Ampara district, including the Ampara Saddatissa Mahavidyalaya, Ampara Bandaranayaka Balika National School and the Kavantissa Mahavidyalaya to inform the students of the scholarship program. The Abhiman Varam promotional campaign visited several schools in the Batiklo district today, including the Chenkaladi Central College and Chala Chene Hindu College as well.
The Vatican News reported today that Pope Francis has appointed a Sri Lankan priest as the secretary of the Vatican's Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue, or the PCID. Reverend Monsignor Indunil Janakaratna Kodituaku, who has been appointed as the secretary of the PCID, is a member of the clergy of the Diocese of Badulla, Sri Lanka.
The Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue was established by Pope Paul VI on Pentecost Sunday 1964 with the aim of promoting dialogue with persons of other religions in line with the spirit of the Second Vatican Council. The PCID is composed of about 30 members and some 50 councillors from across the world from various backgrounds and expertise, serving as consultants, specialists in religious studies, or are engaged in the field of dialogue. Reverend Monsignor Indunil Janakaratna Kodituaku will be the second Sri Lankan priest to hold a secretarial position at a papal council.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News on TV1. Take care and good night.